Hello and welcome to the Black Rose Garden. So, day one of Necropolis League just ended recently, and unfortunately, I haven't gotten to start playing yet, so I wanted to take a look at what's popular and what's meta to see if I need to change anything with my own league start plans. So, I'll first look at the builds. And one thing to note about PoE Ninja right now is that it's a little bit bugged. If you look at Inquisitor, there's a lot of players who have no skills, no main skills, and no DPS at all. Pretty much every single one of these players are using cast on crit with chain detonate dead of chain reaction. And for some reason that doesn't show up at all. So if we go back to the main page, the actual number of players using detonate dead of chain reaction should be way higher. I'm pretty sure it's by far the most popular skill right now. So shown here, the most popular skill is Lightning Arrow. This one is not too different from Elemental Hit of the Spectrum. They're both basically just both skills that have really good clear, but you play really squishy and you play them both on Deadeye. This is the kind of build that was really made for softcore because of how squishy you are, but you also go really fast and you do a lot of damage in maps. I'll put a link in the description below for video guides to all of the popular builds that I look at here, made by other Path of Exile YouTubers. So after Lightning Arrow, we have then, of course, Detonate Dead of Chain Reaction. I'm kind of surprised this is so much more popular than the Ignite version, but I'm sure it's because it does a lot more damage. So it's mainly played on Necro, but there's another version with Inquisitor, which I will talk about in a second. So obviously, in order to play the skill, you need the Transfigure Gem, and right now, it's going for 20 Chaos, which is quite a lot for a Transfigure Gem this early in the league. Like, Divine Orbs are 100 Chaos. Yesterday, they were like 50, so right now it's a fifth of a Divine Orb to just get the Transfigure Gem. And then moving on, we have Elemental Hit, which is basically pretty similar to Lightning Arrow. And the Hex Blast is the most popular Chaos build, I guess. I'm sure this took the spot of what Essence Drain Contagion used to be before. So if you wanted to play a Chaos build, I think this is the best skill for a league start. And then after that, Exsanguinate is popular as usual, played mostly on Trickster. We have Explosive Arrow. This is also a very old build, mainly played on either Elementalist for damage or Champion for survivability. And then after that we have Ball Lightning, which is actually mostly played on Hierophant for Archmage builds. I'm pretty happy to see Archmage being more popular now because it's a very cool support gem, but before it was just too weak. So those are all the main builds. Deadeye obviously for the Lightning Arrow and Elemental Hit, and Necro for Detonate Dead of Chain Reaction, and also Inquisitor too. Trickster mainly for Exsanguinate, Hierophant for Archmage, All Lightning, Elementalist is also for Detonate Dead. They're definitely going to nerf that skill gem next patch, for sure. After that, we see Hellish Battery being the most popular keystone in the entire game, probably because they nerfed so many of the mana reduction. Now what I really want to look at is how people are doing their Atlas trees. Obviously the most popular are the ones that increase the map tier that you get. Commissioned Officer for more Kirak, which also helps you progress the map. And this is also Kirak. I'm surprised that Jun is so high, but it kind of makes sense. Jun gives more XP than other mechanics, and people are farming for Unveil mods that they want, along with Scarabs, of course. Then we have Expedition, which is also always very popular in the beginning of the league because it just gives so much currency and good gear. It gives basically everything that you need to progress. And then very interestingly, we have Nico being so high because you pair this with Backed with Energy and it gives you a lot of damage and move speed and resistance, which is everything that you could want. This is super good for, especially for league starts, since your characters are weaker, so getting bonus stats simply from your Atlas tree just helps you progress so much. It's so much better to finish your progression and unlock all of your Atlas passive skills before you change your Atlas tree into a currency making one. And then after that, we have the Pantheons, which are normal. Kind of funny that about 10% of people forgot to do their Pantheons, so don't be that guy. Masteries are pretty usual too, with max life and mana reservation. The chance to suppress spell damage with Lucky is actually one that I really like because it allows you to get so much more spell suppression for so much less investment. And this is for softcore, of course, where 95 is not that different from 100 as opposed to hardcore, where that tiny last bit is a huge difference. But getting the 100 takes so much investment in terms of both passive point and gear. So yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys have a good league start.